Hello guys, welcome back to a Minecraft mod showcase, and I didn't know there was an arrow on my toes. And today we're going to be looking at the Caves and Charms mod by Team Abnormal, and this was also requested to be done. Let's get started. So, first of all, we're going to see all the blocks right here. They're all the new blocks that will appear, either new crafting recipes for them or new blocks entirely that you'll be able to craft depending on either woods, this one, or ingots. That's it. Ingots that you can mine to get. So these are all the blocks. Some structures will actually also have the blocks. We have all the dripstones, then we have some turf bricks, and then we also have all these ones. I just want to show you guys how they look because there's other redstone and things that it will take longer, and I don't want the video to go like the previous one that was like an hour. So these are all the blocks. Sungilite, these are new blocks that you'll be finding. You can craft all the different things. You can do bricks, you can do patterns with them, and then we still have more blocks on this direction, even more blocks this way. Some of them are created with the new ingots, like the tint one you can craft, and then we have other blocks like the ones that are done with the magnet cubes, or not the cubes, but these ones, the magnet blocks, and they're crafted like this. They all have different crafting recipes, and they all work differently. Well, you can all craft them differently. These are all the blocks, more blocks, and now we have some lamps that you can craft. Also, some new buttons. These are the tint buttons. Craft with and we have more things. Silver, I mean, that's a silver button. More silver things. It's the tint with also the bars, and then we have some other blocks, and then we also have this thing called the roller door and the roller window, which is basically like a garage door with a redstone signal that will move up and down. But you can also use a tuning fork to right click the bottom, and as long as you hit the bottom, it'll keep going up, and then you'll have it all the way up. But if I stop hitting it, it'll go back down. And this is a tuning fork. Tuning fork is crafted like this with copper. I forgot the name of it. We also have the pressure plate and the bottom for the tint. We have some chains. We have this new thing. It's a tint bolt, and with a redstone signal it'll turn on, and then it has different phases. Once you remove the redstone signal, it's still on, but it'll get dimmer and dimmer, and it has 5 different phases. The only reason why I put 5 here was for me to remember different phases of strength of light. And once they finish, and then it'll just go back to not emitting any light. And then we have more blocks, more lamps that you can make, more blocks. Then we have a bunch of different ones that are used with copper. We have all the different oxidations levels for copper. You can either have them with wax or without wax, and so they'll start turning, like this one, it start turning the other oxidation level. Like right here, you can see the chain. In this, I had used the ones that were not oxidized, and I started putting wax on them so they wouldn't change before I started the mod showcase, because there's some stuff that I need to look into before I continue. And then we have the things you can mine to acquire some of the items. Also, we have the rocky dirt, which looks like why is it okay? It's crafted like this, and it's great for creating paths. Just really nice block to create paths with. And then we have the other blocks. So you'll find ingots in there like this one. You'll find the raw tint, and you have the tint ore and the deep slate, and then we have the cylindrite and cassiterite, which are new blocks that appear. But this is where you will find tent. And then you'll also be able to find silver, which these are the two different ways, silver ore and regular and deep slate. And then you also find the turquoise ingot, which you get from either this one or the deep slate one, deep slate. And then we have the spinel, and you can, why it's raining, right? Anyway, and you can find them either regular height or deep slate, and then that's everything else. This is just the blocks that you can create with the raw versions of the silver, the tint, and the other silver, the soul silver. You'll find also you'll find silver in soul sand too, and you can get it out of it. That's how it works. Now then, we can continue. There's some new little growths. These are all the different colors. A new false hoop, and it's just like a little mushroom that emits light. Then you can new blocks that you can create. Gunpowder block, the rotten flesh block, and the echo block. Then you can also find and create a new torch, and then you can get a saddle with eggs, which you actually get from a mob as a drop. And if you break it, not in creative, so someone taught me how to do this. In survival, if I break it, then you can get, why is it not? Well, that's not good. Okay, my bad. I didn't read the instructions correctly. I forgot what it did. Anyway, so what this one does is this one drops from a mod, and if you jump on it, you'll force it to hatch, and you'll have a new baby. This is a new mod, and you can ride it once it grows into an adult. So once this little guy grows into adult, maybe at the end of this showcase, he'll do it. They barf? No, it's not barfing, it's like drooling. Anyway, and then we have more lamps, and then these new bracers, which are like cage fires, like campfires, looking cool. These also have the flood lights in all the different variations of the copper, and they produce light. Then we also have this little lamp called the dimmer, which works as a light source too. And the way that it turns on is you can right click it and it'll turn on, and then it'll start dimming, or you can give it a redstone signal. So the farther it is from the block, the redstone signal, the weaker the light source will be. In this case, as you guys can see, they look dimmer and weaker. And then we also, where was I? Have another light source, a lava lamp. And then we also have this new thing that's called the dismantling table. So what the dismantling table does is it can remove the trim of an item that you have. So you'll put the item together with the spinel, and then you'll get all your all the ingredients you use to get the item. In this case, it was this one, and there's new smithing trims now with this mod also that you can craft. You can craft them. You have to find them. The new templates. You have to find them. And then we have the new campfire with a new coloring, which looks like this. Where you can craft with this with the copper in it, which is pretty cool. It gives me more things. This whole mod allows you to have more have more copper items to create it. And then we have this called the jewel anvil, which you craft like this with the spinel ingots, and then you get 2 of them. And what you want to use this thing for is you can use it for enchanting, but as a regular anvil would be. But what you want to use it is, well, for chanting for anything, but instead of using experience point, the thing that happens is once you do it, once you use it and you get your new item, it'll blow up like that and disappear forever. So it's a one-time use kind of thing. And then we also have this thing called the annotating table, and this one doesn't use experience points either. What it does is you'll need some armor, and this only works the way that I have to show you guys is in survival. And what you want to do is you have your whatever piece of equipment you want to enchant, and then depending on how many you put in here. So if I put 3 of these ones and 3 of the lapis, I can use all the way to number 3. And as you guys can see in the bottom, it says how much durability it'll be using. So it'll range of how much durability it'll use. If I only use one of either one, it'll default to the 1 and only allow me to do it as the first one. If I do 2, it allows me to put the second one. And then at the end, I can, if I choose a third one, it'll almost break it. As you guys can see, it's almost broken. It has a range of how much durability it'll be using. And that's how you can enchant with it. And that way, you won't be using level points, but enchanting points, levels. Instead, you'll be using the durability of the equipment. And then you can try to get it back with the individual anvil, I guess, without having to use enchanting levels anymore either. And then we have the copper golem that's oxidized, and it's just a statue like that. Then you have new signs, and then we also have these things called toolboxes. And what the toolbox is, you can place an item in there, and then you can break it, and then you can move it around with you. Where is it? Right here. And then once you place it again down, you have your item in there. So you can place things as a backpack, kind of, and then you can move it around and take it with you wherever you go. And you can actually either store or take things with you whenever you go on an expedition. And then we have these things called the storage stocks, which you craft like this with the tint ingots and blocks. And these ones work kind of like storage things. You can connect as many as you want to in any direction like this. And the way you access them is without having another dock in your hand. You can right click it and then you get storage. And they only give you one row of storage per each one of these ones, each one of the docks. But you can connect as many as you want to, and you can access it from wherever. So you can connect like from a cave all the way to the top, and you can transfer items like that without having to carry them. And that way you can mine more and things like that. And also you can create a storage dock hatch, which means that whenever, what was that? I think I heard like a zombie. But in this case, I wouldn't be able to access it from here. As you can see, I'm not able to open it. But if I have a hatch and I put it like on this side, and I can right click the hatch afterwards, and I can access the dock from whatever section I want to access it without having to have the front facing me for me to be able to access the dock and get the items from there. And these are the heads of some of the mobs that are up here in this block. Then we have this called fragile stone and fragile deep slate, which is just fragile, what the name suggests. And then we also have this called the bouncer, which allows you to bounce like this, and it's created like this with a team block and some slime balls and some redstone. And then we also have the hoop, the redstone reflector, the redstone resistor, a winch, a scatter, and a spruter. Spruter. And then we also have all the kinds of rails created with the copper. We have the TMT and a TMT in the mine car. Then we also have the whole rail, the spine rail, and the slaughter rail. and they all craft differently with different recipes like this with the new blocks or ingots that you'll be getting, and they all work like this. This is how you would craft them, and I'll show you guys how they all work in a minute. Right here I'll show you, and then we have the normal TNT. And the thing about this TNT is that it doesn't give you damage. So if I was smart, I gave myself some, and I wasn't. Give me a minute. Boop. Let me go back into survival, and this TMT, if you light it up, it won't hurt. It'll just launch you up or whatever, but it won't affect you. It won't hurt you whatsoever. I don't need to do that. Just do that. And then we have the different boats. They are created with the new wood and the boat with that. And that's all the items, all the blocks, I guess, and some of the items. And like I said, I'll go over and I'll break it into sections like I did with my other video that was longer. So we're going to move on. I also forgot to show you guys these things, which are called the sparklers, which you can create all kinds of, and you can, all kinds of, and you can just light them up, and then they'll make little noises. So I'll add this somewhere in the video, so you guys can see the little sparklers doing their thing, like this. And they won't go out, they'll just keep producing light like this. And we're going to go into the next thing, which would be all the different tools and weapons that you can get. And this is all the copper different items that you can make. They're weaker than other items. They're not the greatest, but these are tools you can make. These are the silver ones. These ones have to give you magic damage. And this one gives you attack speed and a little bit of slowness inflicted to the things that you hit. And then we also have a kunai, which is crafted like this. All these ones are crafted like the regular recipes, except for these ones. These ones you will have to use a diamond weapon or tool and use a necromion ingot with a smithing template, this smithing template, and then you'll have your necromion sword. And then this is the kunai. The kunai works as a throwing weapon, and you can toss it, and you can pick it up again. So if I go into survival and I toss it, you can go close to it and can grab it again. So you can pick it up after you toss it. And it works. I keep wanting to do the command. And that's how it works. Then we also have the Aegis, and this one works as a shield, but instead of a regular shield, this one will bounce things back. So it can reflect all these things. So it can reflect splash potions, it can reflect arrows and fireballs. And I put this is not the fireball, but I put this to remember. And then you can also dye it in a crafting table. So you'll just grab your dye and your shield, and then you'll go to a crafting table, and then you can just put both things together, and then you have your new shield with the new look to it, with the new color that you picked. Next, we have all the arrows. So we have different arrows: the blunt arrow, the ricochet arrow, the large arrow, the rewind arrow, the blindness arrow, and the revenant arrow. Okay, again, I forgot to bring in an experiment subject, and I'll grab a camel for this. So the first one will be the blunt arrow. The blunt arrow, not the best. The blunt arrow will not hurt whatever you hit. So like the name suggests, it's just blunt and it won't do any damage. Then we have the ricochet arrow. The ricochet arrow, if you hit a block with it, it'll ricochet and go in that direction. So in the direction of the angle that you hit it in. So like that, and I'll just keep bouncing until it stops bouncing. It also, but if you hit a target like a mob, it'll just hit the target and not bounce like that. And then we have the large arrow. The large arrow will travel a less distance, but it does more damage. And now they can't move that. And next we have also the rewind arrow. The rewind arrow is kind of cool because of the thing that it does. The rewind arrow, when you hit something, it'll start moving around, and then once the effect runs out, it'll go back to whatever spot it started on. So I don't know if you guys were able to see it, but if I hit it and then it starts moving after the time runs out, it'll just rewind to wherever it started. So it should come back here. There we go. And then we have the blindness arrow. The blindness arrow, I cannot really show you guys how it works. Well, because I'll just hit something and give them blindness, I guess. Maybe I can try. Can I hit myself with it? Didn't work. Maybe if I go into survival. There we go. Now I am blind. And then we have the last one, the Revenant arrow, which I think I just wasted it. It's gone. Doesn't affect me, but I know it gives an effect. I don't know what the effect that it gives is, because I can hit mobs with it and I can see that they have an effect, but I don't know what it does. If someone knows what the Revenant does, that's the only thing that I couldn't find information about when I was looking into it. And that's all the arrows. And next we can move on to these potions. So before I jump to the potions, we're going to go and look at this apple, which is crafted like this, and it works like a golden apple, and you use a golden apple, but instead of like disappearing, in this case it gave me nausea, and instead of disappearing, it'll have a timer, and then you can reuse it, and it'll have some, if I go into survival, it has some durability that, okay, it's bad. This is why I grab milk. And then I can eat it again, and it'll give me a different effect. So it's a random effect it'll give me, and that's how that works. So you cannot gamble. And then we also have the cave fish, which is food, and you can actually eat it, and it'll give you blindness. And then we also have the caviar, and the caviar is just food also, and you can eat it, and also has a timer, so it won't run out in one go. And then you can hear the little noise of I guess. And the timer how many you can eat. And the apple also disappear. I thought it was, so I was messed up, and the apple will disappear, but the caviar will not disappear. You can keep eating it. But the apple will after every use, and this time it gave me haste, night vision. Anyway, now we can move on to the potions. So there's new potions kind of types: the impact potion, the trail potion, and the tether potion. And these are the new potions are created with in this mod. And I couldn't find also what the vampiric one did. I thought maybe it allowed me to absorb on hit like life, but it doesn't work like that. And so I don't know what it does, because I tried consuming it and seeing if it worked, but it doesn't work like that. So I'm not sure what it really does, the effect that it has. The way you get these potions, these are just water bottles, so they don't do anything. But if in case I have this, so what you want to do is you grab either a Soto potion, Linger potion, or a Soto splash potion, or a Nergor potion, and then you use your brewer stand and use a spinel, and then you get that type of potion, either the impact, if they're splash, if they're solo, you'll get the tender, and then if they're lingering, you'll get the trail. And the way they work is these two, and this one too. This one works like this. So if I go into survival, actually let me get into creative, and then I can go back into survival, get some damage in, and then I can right click this potion, it'll go on my head, and then I leave a trail. So anything that goes inside the trail, it'll get some healing, and it lasts forever. And then if I right click this one, the tethered one, this one will also go on my head, and it'll give me the speed forever, but only to me, it doesn't leave a trail. And then we have the strengthening one, which is a splash one, which is when it's an impact one. And the way that this one works, it goes on my head also, but the way that you activate this one is by taking damage. So as soon as something hits you, it'll appear, it'll activate. And that's how that one works. And then we're going to move on to the ingots. So these are all the ingots you guys can get. This is how they look. And there's a different crafting recipes that you guys can do and use them for. This is the use for the glass. The special glass that you guys can get is somewhere over here. How it looks is over here. You get the glass. This is soul glass. You can get some cool glass. And then we're going to move on to this one. So this is the living flesh. This is a drop, and you can use it for armor crafting and for recipes too, for the empiric one, and for the trims. Then there's the team plate, which you acquire, and you can use for different recipes, like this. You can create different things with it. And then we have all the different pottery. It's not logos. What is it? Pottery designs. All the designs that you can make, and these are all the templates that you can find for you all to be able to find. And then you have the concealing, the obscurity, and the extending. Which extending is just reach, for you go to reach things farther. Concealing makes you harder to detect by mobs, and obscurity makes it so obscurity will make you fully invisible as long as you're crouching. So once they hit you, even if you crouch, you won't turn invisible, but if you crouch before they see you, they won't see you. That's how it works. And then now as we finish all of them, we're going to move on to, not there yet, but we're going to move on. Oh, the guy grew up. So now that he grew up, I can ride him like this. He becomes a mount. We're going to move on to more items over here. We had the bucket and the cave fish. We can put in the bucket. There's a new bucket kind of little thing which is made with gold like this. These gold blocks. And gives some use to your gold, because there's not many things you can use the gold for. And then we also had the packing container, which is used and crafted like this, and you can place things in here by right clicking it, and you can take them out by right clicking it. We also have the barometer, which tells you the kind of weather there is, and it's crafted like this. And then we also have the monocle, which allows you to do this, so kind of makes things look farther. I grabbed the helmet by accident. And you can you'll look like this when you grab it and use it. Pretty cool. And then we have the unicorn horn, which is crafted like this. And the funny thing about the unicorn horn is if you have a horse, you can right click the horse with it, and then it has a unicorn horn now. So now it's not just a regular horse, it's a unicorn. Moving on, we have the deep scotch, and this one, by right-clicking it tells you how the altitude you're on. So right here I'm 70, right here I'm 69, and so on and so forth as you go deeper. And this is how you craft it using silver. And then we also have the jewel pearl, which if I go into survival, you can toss it and it'll teleport you like a regular ender pearl. That's what it is. And then we also have the copper horn, which you can craft like this, and then you can have different sounds like that. And then we have the bone flute, and the bone flute works like this. And what it does, it gives commands to the rat. And so the rat, I'll go to it in a minute, but it'll be used with the rat to get rid of it. And then we have copper armor for the horse, and the copper ones, either for the horse or for yourself, it'll give you slowness, so it's kind of not that good. This one gives you magic protection for the silver, and knockback resistance for the netherite, and slowness inflection to the necronium. So they'll, if they attack, they'll give slowness to whatever they attack. And then we also have some music discs, and if they're not copyrighted, I'll play them. And this one sounds like this. And the other one sounds like this. And like regular music discs, you'll have to find them in your world. And then we have the other armor. This actually was, and actually you can see the one is more corroded than the other one. So it started as a regular copper looking thing like that color, and then with time it just turns into the bluish greenish color of this one. And then we have the other armors, the silver, and the rest, and they give you special effects. Well, not special effects, but they give you special things apart from just the armor. Like this one gives you 13% protection of magic, and this one gives armor toughness and lifesteal. And these ones actually give you also other special effects, and these ones are different than the other two. So these ones you cannot grab, you have to find them. And the things that they do, this one gives you stealth, so making it harder for people to see you, monsters to see you. And this one gives you reach, so making you able to reach things far away and interact with those blocks. And next we have, actually that's all the armor for this place, and all the blocks too. Well, all the items, I mean. Now we're going to move on to the mobs, and then we're going to go to the redstone items over there. So we're going to start with the cave fish. The cave fish is just a regular fish. If it's not in water, it'll just flop around, and then if you kill it, you'll get some cave fish items that you can eat. Then there's a copper golem. It looks like this. Just walks around. It doesn't really do anything. So if I go into survival, go inside this hole and let them here, level up. And I did save my spawn here, so I wouldn't have to run all the way back. I should have just put a thing there for me to just access it, but it creates and gives effects if you don't die. And did it break? It broke it, didn't it? Well, good thing it doesn't, the chocolate box still contain whatever it has inside. And then we have the Ever Dripper. Actually, the effect happened when I blew up the potion that I had in my head, activated the strength potion. And then we have the Even Deeper, and it looks like this. It also blows up. just like that. And if you kill them, they'll just drop where's my thing? I'll just drop gunpowder. So I'll have to go back in the hole and get those chocolate boxes, which I believe was one of the mobs that were going to be added by Minecraft, but they had a voting thing. This is a glare. It looks like this. It's peaceful. You can hit it. It doesn't drop anything. And then we also have the glacier. And let me get a weapon for this one. Grab a weapon. This is the glacier, which is the big guy. This is the one that's not tame. And if I try to hit it on the armor part, I'll just make this little noise. Actually, I just hit it in the feet. So if I hit it in the squishy part, it'll start freaking out and rolling like that. And then if it hits things, it just bounces and then finally goes on the thing. But if I hit it in the armor, it'll just make this noise and no damage will be made until I hit it in the actual body part. And then once you kill it, it'll drop some tint. And it also has a chance of dropping that saddle with eggs, which you can hatch the tameable one. And then we have the only thing that I didn't check was about it being aggressive, which it is. Well, it's scared, so it runs away, but it'll hit you, and then it'll start bouncing if it hits something, just like that. And then we're going to move on to the mine, which is an aggressive mob. It looks like this. And if I go into survival, it picks up things, it hits you, it steals things. Actually, it copies what you have. So it doesn't steal things, it copies whatever you have in your where you're showing it. And then if you kill the guy, it has a chance of dropping either the spinal or the zirconia. Then we have the peeper, which also will drop gunpowder. And the peeper looks like this. And this is what the guy does. It also blows up. Do it, do it! That's what that guy does. Drop everything again. This time I did it far away from there. Next we have the last mod, the rat. And the rat looks like this. It has a chance of having things on its mouth, and if you kill it, the guy who has something in his mouth, if I kill him, it'll drop whatever it has. In this case it has an iron ingot. Not all of them have something. And then if I have some rotten flesh, I can tame the rat. And then I can use the flute to make it either stand up. If I just right click it, but if I shift right click, it'll sit down. Hey. There we go. It'll make a different noise and it'll sit down. So there was some stuff that I forgot to mention about the rats. So something unique about them is if they're sitting and then you crouch and you get close to them, they're going to get on your shoulder, and you can have up to 2 rats on your shoulder. So if I put another one to sit and I crouch down, then I have 2 rats. If I jump, they'll fall off, they'll start sitting. And another thing is once you tame them, if I give them rotten flesh afterwards, there we go. Now they'll go together and then they'll make a little baby, like so. And another last thing is if there's an aggressive mob or anything, in this case I'm using a mimic, and I point the fruit at it, they'll go and attack it, they'll latch to it and start eating it like this. So they're more useful than what I first told you guys, because I forgot to mention all this. And that's right. And that's all the mobs there are in this mod. And finally, I'm going to go over the redstone, different redstone things that appear in here. So we're going to have these two things first. The spiked, and the slaughter. So they are activated with redstone, and they'll look different when they're activated. And if I had a minecart with a animal in there, so in this case I choose a pig, I push a pig and it goes down, L star. Why is it not? Well, sounds too small. It has to be not in the minecart. Come on, there we go. It'll hit it and I'll take damage if it moves on top of it, like that. And then we have the other one, and this one will actually hurt as long as they're in it, and it does a lot of damage and it'll kill whatever is on top of it. Next we have this one called the hold, and the hold works as the name suggests. It'll hold to whatever hits, but it works in two directions. So whatever direction you see the light going, so in this way, if you have a redstone signal, it'll hold anything coming from this way. So if I have a minecart right here and I hit it, it'll stop right there. But if I remove that, then it'll keep going like that. But if I had the signal over here and I hit it from this direction, it'll hold right there. And if I had both, and it'll stop right there completely. But if I have both a redstone signal on this side, then in both directions it'll block it. And that's how the hold works. We also have, I'm going to move this way. I already showed you guys how that one works, but then we have this one called the redstone reflector. The reflector works like this. So reflector is kind of like a random, I don't know if I was too far away, like a random redstone signal. So sometimes it'll go in either direction, so there's a chance of it going in different directions like this. And you can increase the likeness of it going by right-clicking it on the little redstone torches you can see. And it'll have, there's 3 levels. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. The 4th one means, like when it's like this, it means that there's no chance of it ever going on this direction. But then this is highest likeliness. No, the highest, the second highest, and the third highest. So it'll have more chances to go on the one on this side before the other ones. In this case, this thing is calling me a liar. But anyway, that's how it works. And then we have this one called the redstone resistor. And the way the redstone resistor works is I can hit it, you can see the light going in, but you can change how much more it'll travel by hitting this. So the more you hit it, the less it travels. So if it goes all the way down, it just dies. But if the highest it is, the more the redstone signal will travel. And then we have the hoop. And the hoop has 2 things you can do with it. And one of them is with the tuning fork. If you use a tuning fork on it, by right-clicking it, you can make it smaller. And then if you use and you toss something through it, usually like an arrow, and you activate the redstone signal like that, you can see the redstone signal goes in, and you can put the hoops in any position you want, like that, and the redstone signal goes also. And that's how the hoop works. And then we have this whole thing called the winch, and the winch works as also a redstone signal, and you have to right click it, you'll see it whining, and the more it whines, the longer the redstone signal goes. But if you let go of it, it'll go back to the start position, not leaving any redstone signal. But if you keep whining it, eventually it'll click and it'll stay like this, and it'll keep doing the redstone signal. And you can actually put different blocks underneath, and each one will have different effects. The gold one will allow you to wind it faster, like that. And the tint one, the silver one I mean, will make it slower to wind, so it'll take way longer. The iron one will allow you to wind it and it won't go back, so you can keep winding it little by little, or you can do it as much redstone signal as you want, but it won't reset. And the tint one, which the tint plate is, you can, no matter how much you wind it, it'll always reset. So even if I wind it the whole way, like this, it'll just reset, no matter what. And then we have, lastly, these two things called the scatterer and the splitter. And what the splitter does is, if you right click it, well, if you hit the redstone signal, it'll just toss everything it has in there. So just like that, it just tosses everything. And the scatterer will do the following. So depending on what you have in what position, it'll dispense it or shoot it in that direction. So it works like a dispenser. And so if I right click it, I'll just, the position that I did it on, the ricochet, the blunt, and the large, they'll go in those directions. So as you can see, one of them goes this way, the other one goes that way, and the last one goes in the middle, like so. And that's how that one works. And that's everything there is in the mod. And I think I didn't miss anything. And I think I got everything this time. And if you have any questions, just let me know. We got the end. If I missed anything, please let me know also, so it can be helpful for other people also who are looking into what on how this mod works. But if you'd like it, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. And I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Haha, I'm lying. It's not bye yet. I forgot something. I forgot about the different structures that this mod has. And it has some structures that you guys can find. And by using the locate command, I can find them. And I'll show you guys what, how, and where they are at. So the first one I'll show you guys is the forge. I didn't click the thing like a dum-dum. But the first one is the forge, and we're going to teleport there. And I'm going to go into spectator mode, so I can go down because they're all down in the underground. This is the first one. This is the forge. So it looks like this from the exterior. And then once you go in, you'll find all these things. You'll find some goodies. There we go. Okay. So we'll go over there. And this is the lodge. So you'll find some stuff in there. Let me get into spectator mode. I don't need that. Right there. So you'll find different things in here. You'll actually find a new mine shaft with the new blocks like this. Okay, moving on to the next one, which is going to be the tint monolith. And this one will be somewhere in here. So this is a tint monolith. It's just a big chunk of tint like this that you guys can find. And then lastly, we have one more, which is going to be the vault. And if I go to that location and I go into, because I don't want to break it, spectator, right here. Which brings me to the last thing that I didn't mention before for the ingots. So something cool that you can do now is that you can place the silver ingots in piles, the golden ingots in piles, and the iron ingots in piles like this. And they're the only ones that work like that. You cannot pile like the emeralds. You cannot pile emeralds, but you can pile all the ingots. So even the copper, can be piled. So as long as they're like an ingot like this, you can pile them. So the tent will also work. And if I pile them correctly, I can place them on top of each other like that. And all the silver and all the other things that are ingots, either the netherite, will also work. So if I put another level of that, netherite, I don't think, yeah, there we go. Can also pile up like that. As long as they're ingots, you can pile them, you can decorate your house, but this is the vault. This is where you'll find a bunch of ingots like this, and then you can also find a chest with a bunch of goodies in there, just like this. And now that's the true ending. That's everything that the mod has, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!